Welcome to the Chelsea Skidmore Show. I'm here today with my guest comedian, Annie Lederman.
What's up? Hey, everybody.
Hi. So you're just enjoying a snack. Don't spill the fucking salsa.
I'm not going to spill the salsa. Squished in. I squished in the salsa. Here's the thing.
Don't hide it.
I wasn't hiding it. I was just trying to get it out of the way because I'm going to be crunching. It's my signature move to crunch on a podcast. People like...
Have you done that before?
I think I chewed gum on a Kill Tony or something. People that fucking bitch ruined... It was like with Roddy Piper, the wrestler who
guy?
died.
That's so...
It was one of his last moments and I crunched over him. But I also... Just kidding, Roddy, R.I.P. But I definitely like... There's one podcast I used to always do and I would always on purpose like bring carrots. If I was on a diet, I'd bring carrots. If I wasn't, I'd bring Funyuns. Like I always wanted something crunchy to fuck with
I
them.
feel like you posted a Funyuns thing recently and I forgot those were still around.
I'll never forget. They're so good. My family's so white trash. I want to do a joke about it that on road trips, my mom would just put her hand out and she'd be like, ring me. And we'd have to like ring toss the Funyuns on her fingers.
Yeah, I used to love those.
Yeah, they're delicious.
So you just got out of jiu-jitsu.
I can't do it. It's too crunchy.
It's okay.
You have no respect for your audience.
You're the one who's doing it.
Okay, I'm done chewing, you guys.
Don't put the respect onto me.
Well, these are your people. You're in charge. You're the boss. Chelsea's
Do
such
whatever.
a cunt. This is what I like about
I'm a
Chelsea.
cunt?
You're like a stone cold cunt.
I can't tell if that means a lot coming. I think
It's
that means
good.
a lot coming
No,
from you.
you've stepped to me in ways that others haven't, and
Really?
it's made me really enjoy you.
Really?
Mm-hmm. There was one time in the office. I think I brought this up to you before, where I came into the office of the Comedy Store, and I just like bust into rooms with like a toy or something. I'm just like in the middle of like something, just being crazy, and I just came in like doing a bit or something, and you were talking to one of the managers. And you just looked at me so like, get out. And I went, oh, sorry, you guys in the middle of something. You went, yeah. And I was like, okay. Like tuck my fake sword in my back pocket and back on out, moonwalk out of the room. I didn't have a sword yet then, but you get it. But it was like, okay. It was funny.
I used to be much more of a bitch. I think I'm a lot nicer now. I know that when I first started working there, I was really, really rude. I got a lot of complaints from customers.
Why were you rude?
Well, because I was depressed and I was dating someone who was an asshole, who was abusive, and I was just unhappy. And his whole thing was like being an asshole.
Right.
So it kind of rubbed off on me.
You have like, I have a similar thing with you where our faces don't emote that much.
Okay, so
it's like Asperger's. People are like, I love your deadpan. I'm like, I have Asperger's. Like, what are you talking about?
You?
I'm on the spectrum. Well, I was like, my parents, I think, misdiagnosed me. I honestly think I was just a girl, and my parents didn't know how to handle a girl because they had all boys. But they, and I was lactose intolerant, and back then, like, that wasn't a thing. So they were just giving me milk, and I was just, like, constipated or shitting all the time.
So that means you're retarded.
And then they're like, she must be retarded. No, but you can be on the spectrum, like, but I don't know. I'm pretty good at making eye contact. But they sent me to occupational therapy.
What does that do?
They made me do all this weird stuff. They rubbed my body with these. I mean, I think I sound molested, but because I was tactile defensive. I didn't like being touched. Which I think is kind of valid.
Yeah, well, it was after your molestation. Sorry.
I knew that's what you were saying, and you were like stumbling it out.
I was stumbling because
okay, so here's my molestations. I got the trifecta, but the first one is like just a weird memory, so I don't know if that's an actual thing. I was born breech, and I think that had a lot to do with it, and also my mother.
What does born breech mean?
Legs first, feet first.
It's supposed to be head first.
It's supposed to
Does
be
that
head
make
first.
a difference?
Yeah, because you ingest like the pussy juice. I'm a doctor.
So what does that mean?
I had to be in an incubator. It was just like oxygen cut off, stuff like that.
For how long?
Maybe that's why my head's so big. It all went to my head. For like a week. But my dad said he felt so guilty because all of the babies in the baby ICU were like these tiny little pocket babies. And he was like, don't sneeze. You're going to blow your baby away. And then I was just like a 7.5-pound baby. Just totally fine. But they just had to watch me. This is so boring. Sorry.
No, it's not.
I just started to fall asleep during my own birth story. Do you guys want to see a picture? Because there was one. There's a picture that was just floating around of my mom's. Well, I guess it wasn't mine. No, my mom had like a crowning picture of one of us with her pussy. Just,
what the fuck?
It was so gross. And it was just floating around our house. Like
you have that photo?
I don't own it.
I want to see what that looks like.
Go online. You can watch all these birth videos. I've watched a million of them. Every time my friends have a baby, they always end up watching like home birth things. There's Ricky Lake. There's a documentary where you can see Ricky Lake have a baby in a bathtub. And in the documentary, It's actually a pretty cool documentary. It's called The Business of Being Born, and it's about people trying to have home births. But I think that that's dangerous and weird. But I know some bad stories.
I'm not sure that you're in the picture. Keep talking.
It is lean towards you, you narcissist.
Yeah, so you're like slightly.
I was over here before.
Okay.
I kept looking.
I mean, I might not even, I'll just grab a clip from it. Anyways.
It's all good. But so in this documentary, there's this midwife who's like so cool. She's like a wigger. She has half her head is cornrows, and she's just cool as shit. She's this Brooklyn bitch. And so she's the midwife going around, and she's very cool. And then she ends up showing her video of her having a baby, and she like goes crazy. And I was working in the East Village, and she came in it was weird to be starstruck, and I didn't want to tell her like, yo,
by the wigger midwife.
Yeah, the wigger midwife came in, and I was like, I wanted to be like, I've seen your pussy, but I didn't say anything. But I was very.
Where did you see her?
She came into the restaurant I worked at.
Oh, that's so funny. So it might have been like soon after.
Maybe it was a couple years. It was like probably 10 years later. I'm like, yo, I saw your pussy. Maybe at its best or its worst. I don't know.
Did you say anything? Were you like, this one's on me?
No, I didn't. Show. Yeah, I just gave her. I had an abortion. Is that okay? No, I never had one.
I never had one either.
I never got pregnant.
And then it makes me feel worried a little bit that I might have trouble getting pregnant because I'm the only one of all my friends who haven't had an abortion pretty much.
I'm also allergic to condoms. So.
Are you really though?
Yeah.
Usually the guy says that.
No. I'm allergic to condoms. My balls drop. Like if I use a regular condom, it's like my balls drop. Like my pussy swells. It's like having balls.
Really? Wait,
so
did
bad.
we talk about pouring the vinegar on the pussy? Did I talk to you about that?
Wait, from the special from what's his name special?
Well,
underrated over.
One time I had a yeast infection and I was Googling stuff online, and I read that if you put white vinegar on your pussy, then it makes the infection go away. So I did it and it blew up like elephantitis. And I like couldn't walk, and it was like that for like all night, and I was so afraid it wouldn't go down, and I just didn't tell anyone, and I was really scared, and I couldn't even walk. And
that's how it goes for me.
And then someone told me Tiffany Haddish has a joke about it, and that she did that too.
Okay, so
I'm a star.
The best joke ever, the best special, Mike Epps. What is it? I just want to get it right. Mm-hmm. Okay, underrated, never faded. He does a whole song. He's like, pop that pussy back, where he's like, after you fuck a woman, and she's like an older woman, and she has vinegar by her tub. I still don't understand it. He's like, the young girls don't know what I'm talking about, but I guess it's supposed to tighten your pussy up or something.
Oh, huh.
I don't know, but it's literally that's the funniest special I've ever seen in my life. It's so funny.
Yeah, I'll check it out.
Oh my God. He does a baby arm thing. I mean, it's literally the funniest. It's so funny.
How did you find out? Was it the
that
first
I was allergic
time
to
you
condoms?
had sex?
No, I had a boyfriend, Darky Marky, my Mexican boyfriend. We got married on ecstasy once. And it wasn't real though. Nobody signed anything, but I was very scared.
Where was it?
We were at a party in Santa Fe.
Okay.
And my friend had gotten ordained, and then everyone gathered and we had a wedding. He cheated on me. It was the worst boyfriend I ever had. I was like, I do not want to marry this person. I got so scared it was real. If we had signed something, it would have been real. Mm-hmm. We never signed anything. Or I'm married. I don't know. Mark?
You tell me.
Let's get annulled, motherfucker. But we were just, I guess I had only like had sex like every once in a while at that point, and then he was maybe my first boyfriend that I was banging like consistently. And then I just developed this allergy. My pussy would it would hurt so bad, it would burn, and it would just get all swollen. And I feel like this is giving someone a boner somewhere. Someone's like, ooh, I love a nice.
So then did you stop using condoms?
I had to start using skins, these.
Like lambskin?
Lambskin doesn't protect you from anything except possibly pregnancy, but they're porous. So you can just get STD, or you can get STDs from it. It protects you from pregnancy.
Have you had STDs?
I had crabs in college.
You did?
That's
I
so
haven't
funny.
heard anyone who had that one. Because I've had a couple, and Steven says he's never had an STD.
He's one of those pray it away.
I don't know. I had chlamydia twice.
That's cute.
I had
Chlamydia's cute. The clap, right? Isn't that what that is?
I think so. And then I had, I didn't even know I had it though. There's no symptoms
first time you got
for
claps.
women.
Get it? High five.
And then, yeah, but what happens when you get
with crabs? Okay. So first of all, for the children out there are these things called pubes that people used to have.
And you still have them.
I do. I mean, I embellish a little at this point. I'm seeing someone, so I've trimmed it up. But I do have really bad razor burn, and I remember you telling me that you have a cure for it.
Yeah.
It's too late. It happened bad today.
Shit. Did you use shaving cream?
Yeah.
Did you shave up?
I don't remember what direction I shaved.
I feel like some people don't know what direction to shave in. You have to shave up, exfoliate before,
I didn't
shave
exfoliate.
up,
I was cocky.
and then use baby oil after.
Okay, the baby oil was probably a big key to it too. All right, but anyway, so my mom was visiting me, and also my friend who was a prostitute, okay, a Craigslist prostitute.
Love.
She and her boyfriend, she had left my friend Rachel. Where are you? Are you alive, Rachel? I don't think you are. Where are you? Poor thing.
I love how so far this is just you getting in touch with people from your past. Your ex-boyfriend, Rachel.
She's definitely dead.
She's dead. Sorry.
No, I hope
R.I.P.
she's not.
Rachel,
No, I hope she's not. But anyway, so she had a boyfriend who was, yeah, this is me being like, I gotta handle some business. I need a divorce, and where's my dead friend? No, I think hopefully she's just somewhere, but we lost her a couple years ago. We couldn't find her anymore. But so anyway, so she was in town. She had moved to New York, and she got this like gross boyfriend, and they were getting peed on Craigslist and stuff, but they were so dirty and stinky. They're just such a weird, stinky, they drove a van out. So crazy, but they were staying in my apartment. No, my mom was visiting too. And I started to be like, Mom, there was a movie in town. And so movies used to, this was in Santa Fe, movies used to come to Santa Fe. And so then it was fun because Santa Fe is a really small town, but they give you a tax break. So all of these, like this new dick would come into town. You're like, ooh, new dick, this is great. So I was like dating this one guy who was, I think, an assistant director or something on the show. And then I think your camera's
All right, well, fuck it.
And then I'm going to end up looking at it anyway because
Yeah.
I can't help it. Excuse me. And then something happened, and then I had hooked up. Like I had one night. We broke up, and I had a one-night stand with another guy that worked on the movie. So who knows where they came from? But I think from the boyfriend. I think the guy that I had been like dating for a couple months while he was in town. I was not going to like exclusively ever date any of them, but I was like 21 and feeling myself. So one day I just realized, I'm just like, something's off. It like itches. It's weird. It just feels bad.
But what did it
It's
feel?
head lice.
I didn't have that either.
It's bugs. It's bugs like biting.
Did you ever
and
see
itching.
them?
Yes. So I went, no, you're going to like this. This is so disgusting. Everyone, this better endear you to me, motherfuckers, okay? I'm being honest and open and vulnerable. Do not judge me.
And we reward that here.
Yes, that's rewarded. I got chips to chew in your fucking ears. Okay.
ASMR.
So, yeah, that's true. So, it's itchy and weird, and I go to the school nurse. I'm still in college at this point, and I go, I think I have crabs. And she goes, no, you don't. And I go, yes, I do. I've diagnosed myself. And then she goes, oh, and she looks again. She goes, oh, you do? Because I could see them. They were tiny, and I could see them.
What, white?
They're like little crab. I mean, it's frightening if you look them up. They're just little, no, they were like little black moving things.
With claws?
Well, they're too little for you to see the claws, but if you look it up close, it's really frightening. So I go to, you have to go get rid, it's the same as head lice.
Did it look like that?
Yeah, they were like little ones of those, but I didn't,
Whoa.
I mean, they just looked black because they were little.
Oh, okay.
But so I went home, and my prostitute friend was there, and she didn't have STDs, and I was so mad I flicked one on her.
How many were there?
I don't know. There was a bunch.
Like that?
You couldn't see. Yeah, that's what it looked like.
Wow.
It's gross.
And they don't go in. They just stay in the hair?
No, listen. So I got rid, and then I shaved, and I started calling the STD hotline. I started getting I was very STD phobic. But I use condoms and stuff. I use the other kind of condoms. It's hair. One of these dirty boys gave it to me.
Wow.
So, flicked them at my friend. That was the part I wanted to be vulnerable about. And then I shaved, and then I called the STD hotline. I was like, it's cool that I shaved, right? And they went, no. And I swear, like an alarm went off. It was in slow motion. Like, no, they burrow.
No.
I'm like, no. So then what happens is they burrow, then they hatch eggs. This is so gross.
It's okay.
It's real. I'm real. This was years and years ago, too.
That's
What's
frightening.
beeping? Is that your printer?
No, that's the camera. Keep talking, though.
Who's watching us?
No, it's not live. Okay, the camera just shut off, so it's done. Now
It was so noisy. What did it do?
I don't know. It's an old. I have a funny story about the camera when you're done, but just keep.
Is it about filming you getting fucked by someone with crabs?
No. So my brother sent me this old camera for Christmas.
Oh, thank you for that Christmas present.
And I open it, and it had a memory card in it, and I put the memory card in my computer, and there was a video of a baby I've never seen before, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" And he goes, "Oh, I got the camera off someone on Craigslist who like left footage of a birthday party on there." So I have this old camera.
That story was not going there in my head. I was like, I thought it was gonna be your brother getting like pegged in the ass. Or something.
No. It was just like a random.
How old's your brother?
2 years older than me.
Is he cool?
Yeah, he's cool. He's very quiet though. But I need to hear the rest of the crab story.
Okay.
Stop deflecting.
So
now
they
we can really
so they
relax.
burrow.
No
I'm
one's
like, oh no. So that means they go into the follicle.
Yeah.
And they hatch another round of eggs. Okay, and the rid doesn't get in there. So I had to wait 2 weeks and do it again. And this is like headlights. So I have to put my teddy bears in a bag. You know,
You had teddy bears in college?
Sure, I had a couple
you were
stuffed
molested.
animals. The memories are like sort of molested. I know you haven't. Molested.
This is Lai.
Lottie's here because I got my tatties touched.
I'm holding my emotional support stuffed animal that I got during a mental breakdown a couple years ago.
Oh, you got it recently. I have a better name for it.
What?
I don't want to say it.
What is it?
It's
Benji?
just his name.
So they burrow and then
they burrow, and then I had to wait another 2 weeks. So it was like it happened
for the hair to
again.
grow back.
Yeah, and for the eggs to
and they were
hatch.
back and they come. Oh, so they attach themselves to the base of the follicle.
Yeah, they go down. Once you shave, they go down because they're just hanging on the hair, and then they go down to find the hair.
So then when they came back,
I just got rid of them. I used Rid hair shampoo. And you have to comb through it, and
it kills them off.
So then years later, I'm in Santa Fe, small town. I'm in Whole Foods. We're at the guacamole bar, and I like grab for the same chip, and I look up, and it's the school nurse, and I go, "Oh my God, do you remember me? You diagnosed me with crabs." And she's like, "Oh my God, I do." She had like a good laugh over the chips.
That's fun.
That was fun. But a lot of people know me as someone that has crabs. That's when I decided I really want to do comedy because it was so funny to me. I told everyone. I was a go-go dancer at the time too. So I was a go-go dancer.
You
with
were?
crabs. I had to quit. I couldn't go-go dance.
But was
with
it at a
crabs.
strip club?
No, I was a go-go dancer at just a nightclub.
Really?
Yeah, it's not.
Are you a good dancer?
No. It was Santa Fe. It was a small town. I was wasted one night, and I was friends with the girl that was the GM. It was this gay bar. It was a bar. It was a nightclub owned by two gay dudes called Swig in Santa Fe. And Santa Fe is such a small town. It was the only nightclub. There used to be a place called Paramount that actually Tate Fletcher was a bouncer at.
All gay bars are one word.
Yeah.
Swig, rave.
Yeah.
Dick.
Butthole. The cock.
Rim.
And then there's next door job. So that's pretty cool. So, okay, so you have to lick your way through the entrance. Anyway, that's not a good joke. And I'm still looking at the camera.
Not on
I'm still
anymore.
looking at it. I'm so used to like delivering to camera from doing fucking girl code.
Oh, yeah, that's funny. Yeah, you were on girl code. How long were you on that for?
Like 4 years, I think.
Yeah.
3 or 4 years. But crabs, okay, the nightclub. So Swig was a gay bar, but there was no other bar, so it was just the club in town too. But it was owned by these two gay guys, and I was just there wasted one night. I just turned 21. The week before I turned 21, I was very sick, but the Real World Road Rules Challenge was in town. And I was like, I gotta go see those people.
Yeah.
So I chugged a bunch of Dayquil, and then I went, and my friend snuck me in, and I was like drinking White Russians and stuff. Then I was just such a young little idiot.
Yeah.
I was like, no clue what to get. It's like, I'll get this white chocolate liqueur. So then I'm chugging it, and then I puke all over the cast of the Real World Road Rules Challenge.
On the people?
Yes. But
So
they
you
weren't filming
projectile
it.
vomited.
I projectile vomited Dayquil and a mixture of White Russian and milk and stuff all over them.
And was that part of the challenge?
And the challenge was to not beat my ass. The people were holding. It was Coral. I don't know if you remember them. It was Coral, and then Rachel was like the ripped lesbian. But they were the baddest bitches, and I puked right on them, and they would hold them back. And then I saw Shane from Road Rules at the mall later that week.
Did it make it onto the show?
They weren't filming that night. It's so sad. I know.
That would have been so fucking funny.
Wouldn't that have been the best Throwback Thursday of all time?
Yes.
Yeah, I know.
Yes.
So sad. But anyway, I always try to bring it up to Theo and he gets mad. He doesn't like to talk about it.
Really? Yeah, that's so funny he was on it.
He's such a he just triumphed over it all.
Yeah, because most people, well, actually, and then there was that other
Christina was on it.
Oh, was she?
Yeah.
There was
Christina
that actress, Jamie something, who's the Asian girl.
Oh,
and
yeah. She does really well. Yeah.
Yeah. And she's like a legit actor
yeah.
now. I feel like she and Theo and Christina are probably the only people who made actual career.
One girl married Scott Wolf from Party of Five.
Oh, really?
That's not a career, but that's pretty. I was thinking about that the other day. I'm like, it's so weird. The girl from Weird World to the guy from Party of Five. And then I'm like, why am I thinking about these people? Where are they?
Yeah, it's funny how I was walking by. There's the billboard right now of the two Jersey Shore guys.
Mm-hmm.
And
I like Vinny.
When I saw that, it was like they're really just like squeezing every last bit they can get from that show. But like, to me, there's nothing left.
Yeah, I didn't watch all of it originally, but I've been watching the reunion ones. I like Vinny. I did his podcast a couple of years ago. I had a show on E. I'm still looking at the camera. I did a TV show on E for 4 episodes, but we did like a press run. Yeah, me and Julian McCullough.
I don't think I know who that is. What was your show?
It was called We Have Issues, and I'll tell you something. We had issues with that title.
Yeah.
Why did you name it that?
Is that High Vibe?
Yeah. Is that
like
good?
That one.
I was like, what do I want? And I was like, oh, better mood. Okay. We're talking about my juice from Erewhon. I'm living out of my car and on my friend's couch, and I still shop at Erewhon.
And I didn't want to be the one to say it, but I think that's so funny.
It's great, right? I know
yeah. And so why are you yelling at me for going to Bristol Farms?
I just think that Bristol Farms isn't better than, I think Erewhon's better than other places.
They all have different shit.
I just feel like Bristol Farms, like, for what you can get somewhere else at a good place. It's more expensive than the expensive places.
It is very expensive, but I just
small. There's like 4
go
things.
for certain. No, I go to the one on Doheny. There's a big one. Right. Okay. It's right close to me. I just feel like I go to every market for different things.
That's very different, by the way. I thought you were going to the little tiny one on Sunset.
No, there's nothing there.
I hate it.
No.
Why are you here? How dare you charge me this much? You need more than one register if you're going to ever like step to me with like a $70 pack of bacon.
Yeah. Yeah, I bought like meatballs there for $15 that never cooked through. They were just raw after like an hour.
Yeah, it's not. But if there's a big one, that's different.
It's interesting that you said you didn't want to be touched after you got molested, because I felt
I think it was before that, though.
Oh, really? Because I had a similar, like, I was molested when I was younger, and then I didn't like to get massages for a really long time.
Yeah, it's weird.
Because I didn't want people touching my body. And then I got, like, my mom convinced me to get a massage by this, like, at one of those, like, Asian places in New York, and he touched my boob. And then it took me a
lot
while.
of the guys at the Asian places are rapey, man. I had some really there was a guy that was so but I would always go to the guys because I had a therapist that once told me that once you're molested, you sort of put yourself in those positions a bunch again to try to see them through
and
positively.
Try to have control or something.
Yeah, like try to, a lot of girls will go back to their rapist and fuck their rapist.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Mine's dead. I looked at the camera again.
A lot of these people from your past are dead.
Well, I'm just thinking, if the guy that molested me.
Yeah.
For sure.
Is
I just have memories.
Is this the teacher?
No, that guy's for real. He's still alive. And when I talked about it on Mark Maron's podcast, I didn't say his name or anything, but people figured out who he was.
It was so hard to listen to.
And I got all these DMs from people being like, he was just about to work with at-risk kids again.
That's so horrible.
Motherfucker, right? Was about to start molesting again. And you go for that. You realize they go for the at-risk kids because nobody's going to trust those kids. They're going to go, oh, these are troubled kids.
That's the worst kind of person, to go for troubled kids.
Well, he used to go to the school. And then I got emails from people who went to the school in the 70s when it was named something else. I went to the Pratfalls school, but it was called the Mequon School first. Mequon.
Okay.
And someone said that they are doing like a hashtag Mequon too because it was the culture of the school that the teachers fuck the kids. I'm like, are you kidding me?
The culture?
And then so they just carried that through. And Greg, the teacher that molested me, and all of these girls, these other girls, several girls that wouldn't go forward, ladies, let's go forward with our problems. Let's handle them. All these other girls that he did that too. He went to the school. So now he went to a school that was saying that shit was cool. Do you know what I mean? So he was just trying to carry that through or something. I don't know. But I'm like, how is this school still open?
Yeah.
Why, like, how is it when you Google it, none of this comes up?
Whoa.
None of it comes up. So people are just sending their kids to the school where the teachers that are there now were there when I was getting fucking jizzed on by my art teacher. And he was just like molesting everyone.
So how did that
And then the next year, some other kid told me that the next year there was another teacher. He goes, it was so awesome. The one teacher, we found out one teacher was hooking up with one of the students. And so one of the teachers went down. He just knocked him out and the guy never came back again. I go, that's not awesome. Where are the cops?
Yeah.
Where's the report? That's not awesome. That's putting something under the rug, dude. That's sweeping something under the rug. Then a friend of mine had this mentor, one of the other teachers, and his mom just recently told him that she had intercepted love letters the teacher was trying to send him.
For a high school kid?
Yeah, was trying to send him. And then that teacher, because I always wondered where he went, they had a meeting with the principal, and the teacher admitted that he was in love with him and he had to leave the school. So, hey, don't send your kids to the Pratfalls school. It's just not out anywhere.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And I had Marin, I was so scared and still PTSD when I did that podcast with Marin that I never said the names of anything because I was scared they would come after me. But now I'm like, how dare you?
Could we get a recap of the story?
My art teacher jerked off on me and I took him to court. And I found out when I was deciding to take him to court, or when I was figuring out what happened was really bad, I went around and I was asking all these kids, these other girls, and I found, I think like 5 or 6 other girls that he was currently doing things to, and only one wanted to testify with me.
Why? Did they say
why? I think some of them liked him, some of them didn't want to, it's uncomfortable.
Behavior.
Yeah. People, some, I think some were consensually dating him.
Mm-hmm. Was he hot?
16. No, he was so gross. He was a white guy with dreads.
No.
He was so smelly and disgusting. But
my school had a bunch of guy with dreadlocks.
I mean, who doesn't? I mean, I hope we all have one. They must be stopped. I'm like, why don't you take one of those dreads, wrap it around your throat, and kill yourself. R.I.P. Brody. Every time I say that, I'm like, Brody.
Yeah.
I'm always like, don't Brody yourself. Oh. We love you. But he was gross and smelly. But it was all punk rock kids, so they probably thought he was hot. I didn't think he was hot.
Was he dating anyone?
He was married to my other teacher, who was a white woman with dreads,
and
Debbie.
Did she know that?
She was grooming us. They all groomed us.
Really?
So she was supposed to be my tutor. And by tutor, she wrote all my papers for me. And by the way, I didn't even really need to read papers. I was just talking to my friend from my high school yesterday. And I go, do you remember reading a book? We started laughing. He's like, no, they never gave us a book to read or anything. We didn't learn anything. They just were warehousing us. They were just keeping us there. And then we were talking about how we went to Mexico for spring trips. They took us to Mexico during Cinco de Mayo, a bunch of juvenile delinquents. We were hammered, wasted. He was going to strip clubs. We were all smoking weed.
Really?
Yeah, everyone was hammered. What are you doing? I was 14.
The 2 dread people? Or
it wasn't even those teachers. It was the school. It's the worst school. And then they're like, you guys couldn't behave, so we can't do that anymore. It's like, no, you took us to a booze. I went on a booze cruise with my school. Yeah. And I did a striptease on the booze cruise. You know how they bring people up? They brought me up. I won a bottle of tequila. At 14, my friend Dustin right now, who's in the hospital, if you guys believe in prayers, throw some to my friend Dustin. His mom at the house has something... At his house in Philly, has some pictures of me. He goes, I have pictures of you doing a striptease at 14. I'm like, I need those for my Instagram more than anything in the world. I told my friend, homeboy, that I'm not going to say his name, but that guy, I told him I was like, I need those pictures. They explain everything. He goes, yeah, they totally explain your sword. I was like, my sword's cool. I don't need to explain my sword. I have a sword that I carry on stage now sometimes. A fake toy sword I carry around.
We'll get into your props in a second. I went to boarding school in Switzerland briefly when I was 15. And at prom, first of all, at prom, the teachers and the students were all grinding and dancing with each other. I was grinding with the... I forgot what the name of headmaster.
Were they all
and we used to
go. Were they all Americans there?
It was an American school, but there was a lot of Europeans. It was a lot of rich European kids. And And I thought it was so weird that was happening. And then also, the teachers' houses were like behind our dorms. Like some of them lived on campus in these like special houses, and they would have us over and make us dinner and drink wine with us. Yeah. Like several girls. Like I remember going over there with like 4 other girls, and we were all drinking wine and like sitting on the couch with the teachers. And I remember thinking, this is so fucking weird. And like no one else, no, it's fine. No, she's chomping. No one else thought it was weird. And I remember being like, do you guys have no awareness? Like when you were in the situation going over to that
we
art
thought it was
teacher's
cool
house,
because they were getting us weed and alcohol and stuff. So it was like, oh, this is fun. We
but
thought
there
they were our
wasn't
friends.
any part of you that was like, this is weird.
Well, I woke up and they were a married couple, so I never felt like that. Yeah. I also never think people are trying to fuck me. Now I think
too.
Everyone is.
Oh, really?
Now I'm like, oh, are you trying to fuck me? Like
I'm pretty bad about that too. I think I have a lot of awareness, but when certain people are hitting on me, sometimes I'm like, oh, I didn't notice that.
Like Argus, are you hitting on me?
So funny. So, you recently, I want to go more on that, but I have to shit so bad right now.
Oh, go take a shit. I'm going to eat chips.
No.
Listen, when old dudes hit on me, it's so shocking. Even hot ones, like Court once kissed me on the mouth, and I was so shocked. He was doing it as like a joke or something, but he kissed me and I went, what are you I like Grandpa Zone, dude.
I made a rude comment to him the other day.
He's so handsome. It's
I didn't mean to.
What'd you say?
We were talking about baby photos, me and Steven, and Court came over and I saw him and I just started laughing. I said, oh, the funniest thing happened today. I was talking with Steven about baby photos, and then we were laughing because yours are all black and white because you're so old. And then he just smiled at me and walked away. And then I was like, why did I just say that to him?
Well, that's funny.
I know.
That's a funny burn. He is old.
But it felt mean.
Here's the thing. He's older than us. He's still super hot. That's the thing I'm realizing, because with the guy that I've been seeing, he's a little bit older, and
Is he? How much older is he than you?
12 years.
Oh.
But he was getting...
He doesn't look like it.
No, I know he's immature and a little baby, but in a fun way. But he was like, I don't like when you say that I'm just like, oh, I'm kind of making myself feel young.
Wait, he doesn't like when you say what?
If I say that he's old or something like that. I'm like,
he doesn't like that? That's
No.
the first time I've ever heard a guy say they don't... I think guys like to feel older, but it sounds like he's going through... I also think he might be going through like some midlife crisis issues, probably. Yeah. Or he has a lot of contemplation going on.
Well, it's just, I was trying to explain, like, your age isn't old, but the way you act is kind of old.
Well, his material is like...
He'll be like...
is like literally jokes about old stuff.
Don't reveal too much.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
He has some dated references, to say the least.
I'm getting so embarrassed for talking about it.
Do you turn red when you get embarrassed?
Am I red?
No.
I feel hot. My face feels hot.
I'm so glad
I feel like I'm
not
getting the
one
vapors.
of those people. You know how some people, they just clearly blush? Yeah, I'm so glad I don't have that.
Listen, I'm good at just being honest about how I feel. So if I'm embarrassed, I'll just be like, I'm so embarrassed right now.
Yeah.
I'll just be like, I'm embarrassed. Oh, by the way, we have to talk Trustfalls, because I keep thinking about, because I went through...
Trustfall or Pratfall?
Pratfalls. Because I keep going through waves of, I was like, am I annoyed that you did it before me? Or am I like...
You haven't done one yet?
No, I did 3 of them, but I was doing my last final one and you did it before me. So I was kind of like, why did she do it before me when she knew this was my last one?
I didn't know.
It was a challenge. But also, the more I think about it, the funnier it gets. And there's no annoyance.
It is funny.
No, Chelsea, it's
only
so
2
funny.
girls that
Wait,
night on
can
the
I just
lineup.
explain to you this? Okay. People listening... Steven, Chelsea's husband, challenged me to 3 pratfalls, okay? And then Brenton is going to put up our pratfalls on. And pratfalls when you trip on purpose onto the stage. People don't know that because I keep saying pratfall and people are shocked. So I don't know if any of you have been to a comedy show before, but people don't usually fall onto the stage. And when they do, it's very shocking and it's a crazy thing.
It would be embarrassing.
Yeah, it's
normally
the most embarrassing thing in the world. And also, it's just so uncomfortable for everyone. So Steven has done about 75 of them at this point. And I just wanted to do the 3 just to get it done. It was a challenge. So I had my last one, and Chelsea was opening up the original room, and I was going on. I was supposed to go on 10 comics after her. I was supposed to go on at like 6:30 in the morning. They're like, let's keep it open so Annie can go on later. But just kidding. I have the best spots. I love you, Adam. And I'm blessed. Blessed. But anyway, so I was supposed to go on way later in the show, like probably maybe 6 comics after you. So Chelsea goes on and just the idea of you falling to start the show is so funny. The more I think about it, the more keeps coming to me of how funny it is. So she falls onto Chelsea decides she's going to do one. Falls onto the stage as it's starting. The whole show's starting. Hilarious, okay? Then
you went up like half hour later.
No, I went up right after. So then there was one comic, then Kyle Dunnigan was up, and then randomly no one was at the store yet. So I was the next one up. So like 8 people didn't show up. So then Kyle's bringing up, so that's 2 people. Chelsea fell, 2 people, then me. And I didn't know you had fallen yet. Did I know?
No.
I had to do, it didn't matter because I had to do the pratfall.
Yeah.
And that's the only one, that's the least good one just because Kyle knew it was happening. So then Kyle brings me up and then I do my pratfall. And the audience, it's so hard to have a good set after you have a pratfall.
Really? But you know what? I don't think it is if you don't comment on it. The problem is that for me, you commented on it like 4 times. And then it didn't seem like you were comfortable. So then I think it made them feel comfortable. I think if you didn't mention it and just never spoke about it again, then...
Yeah, you're right. If I powered through.
Do you know what I mean?
It's always powering through, too.
Yeah.
It's always powering through is the answer. But do you know how funny that is that...
Because like now it looked like you actually fell.
It was 3... Well, I was trying to make it look like that
No,
because
I know,
the first time I did it, I was like, it was fake. And Steven got mad at me. He's like, that's not the
You
rules.
said it was fake?
I go, come on.
Yeah.
I didn't do that on purpose. Why would I have brought my water bottle? And they still didn't know. But people kept coming up to me and they're like, was that real or not?
Yeah.
That's my favorite when they're all night. They're like, was it or wasn't it? And then when it gets posted on the Instagram, the people that do follow Comedy Store are like, oh, that's what happened. It was a thing.
It was really fun, but I got extremely sore after.
Yeah, it's so painful.
So
I have bruises
sore.
all over my body.
You do? I don't have bruises.
Well, I
but
do jujitsu too, so it's, I don't know where it's from.
Is that a good workout?
It's the best.
How long have you been doing it?
Just 2 weeks.
Okay. You
It's
just
so
started
fun.
talking to Rogan and...
No.
got-
I got it because you're such a fucking hack, goddamn. You're like a person on
Really?
the internet. Yeah, everyone, if you do anything, if I do hallucinogens or anything like MMA, people are like, it's Rogan. I'm like, I love Rogie, but
I guess everything
Rogie's my
can be-
papa. He's the king. He does everything. What, we can't
Yeah.
do anything without it being,
I
but he
guess
is the
it's
king.
like
I
you
do
went
bow
on
down
a
to
run.
him.
What? You being Rogan
Yeah,
again?
what do you have, a golden retriever?
You sweat at the gym?
Well, you do stand up? Yeah, no, I also do stand up. But so people have been doing that with my hallucinogen stuff where I'm like, I've been doing DMT. My best friend is a hippie in Santa Fe. Well, now she lives in Colorado. But anyway, but not that I don't bow down to the king that is Rogie. Love him. But
You've been doing a lot of hallucinogens lately.
yeah, I just been trying to get to the middle of
I
to the
feel like
bottom
in
of it.
2 weeks you've done ayahuasca, shrooms, and DMT. Am I forgetting anything else?
Ketamine.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I did ketamine, but it's not necessarily a hallucinogen. It's
Yeah, I used to do
disassociative.
K.
But I did it
when
for
I was
like
16. Oh, really?
PTSD. Was that a burn? Your face was so funny when you
What
did
did it look like?
You were like, I used to do K when I was 16.
Oh,
And then
I
you just
did
stared
it
at
for
me.
trauma.
You did do it. Yeah.
No, I'm.
That's what I was
thought we
doing
were
it for.
an act out. You really do look like Scarlett Johansson, by the way.
Cool, thanks.
Don't you think so?
I don't know. I can't really see myself like that.
You really look like her.
Cool.
Yeah, because, Annie says that on stage. Like, people say I look like Scarlett Johansson.
And then her nudes leaked, and they're like, nice try,
Who
bitch.
do I
That's
look
true.
like?
I don't know. You look like Chelsea Skidmore. You're a babe, though.
Really?
Steven said something about maybe you guys would have a kid in a year. That's crazy.
We want to have one, but we need more money first.
Yeah, you
and I
need
want
to
be
get
more
established. Yeah.
I want to have like a house. I'm not going to have a
can't- yeah.
baby in this 1-bedroom apartment.
Easy for the boys.
Yeah. It's just more like an age thing. But I guess it's okay.
How old
now.
are you?
31.
Are you? You can wait.
I
You
know.
have 10 years.
Yeah. Because Natasha, I think, is in her early 40s.
Yeah, she's like 42.
Right? Yeah.
I think she froze 1 egg.
Okay. The lucky
But
egg.
I just realized in my ayahuasca that I want to have a kid, so now I'm changing things.
So what happened in that experience that brought
What story
that?
was I finishing? Oh, I want to tell you how I got into jiu-jitsu. I'm chewing. Fuck. Sorry.
It's
Sorry,
okay.
guys. I know I feel bad for it. It's rude to the audience. They like have it in their ear. And you're chewing in it. It's mean. I'm sorry. Chelsea's a bitch and doesn't care about you, but I fucking really like you guys.
Kind of like sound effects. It's Foley work.
I totally like you guys, and you should listen to my podcast. I would never let a guest chew on it.
And what's that new podcast?
It's called Mean Inspiration. It's coming out in 2 weeks. I said that 2 weeks ago, but life events have
Coming
happened.
out soon.
It's coming out soon, and it's going to be fun as fuck. Anyway, so I was living with my ex-boyfriend Kurt in this building on Hollywood Boulevard, and there was this weird like Asperger's-y kid. He was like big fat kid, probably 18 or to 20, something like that. But a big kid, these weird piercingly blue eyes. And he just talked to me in a weird way. I don't think he knew I was a comedian or knew me, but maybe he did. I don't know if he was like already a fan or something, but first time I met him, he went, "Good to see you again." Like he just started saying really creepy, inappropriate things. He would go, "Oh, you look nice." And he would just look at me. It was just very, very like he didn't understand boundaries and he wasn't going away when I told him to. And then he just really creeped me out and I would just try to not be on the elevator with him, but he would just stare at me and be really weird. And one time Kurt was out of town and I was bringing my laundry up and he was on the 3rd floor and I was on the 1st floor. And he was like, he goes, "Oh, I'll take your laundry for you." I go, "No, I'm okay." And he goes, "Let me take your laundry." He keeps grabbing my laundry out of my hand. I go, "No, I don't want you to touch my laundry." And then I get off the elevator and I turn the corner to my apartment and he starts following me. And I go, I turn around and I go, "You don't live on this floor. You're not supposed to be here." And he went, "Sometimes I get off on this floor and I go up the stairs." I go, "No, you don't. Get out." And I pretended to go into the neighbor's door because I didn't want him to know where I lived. And so after that, I was like terrified. I just was like, I started carrying a knife. I was just scared. I was like, I don't know what this kid's going to do. He tried to follow me into my apartment. He's taking my stuff away from me. Oh, also, sorry, it sounds less crazy. My car window got smashed. And one night, Kurt and they were getting out of their car. And I think he was like waiting to hold the door for me or something. And Kurt and I just sat in the car because I don't like him. And we just sat in the car and listened to music and smoked weed or something. And then in the morning, my car window was smashed.
Oh my God. So he did it to punish you?
And they parked next to me. And then in the morning, I got a call from the landlord saying one of the car's doors are smashed downstairs. And I went down, it was me. And then I talked to another neighbor and she's like, "Yeah, I saw it." And when I saw it, the guy's obese father, super like morbidly obese father, was sweeping it up. And
cleaning up his mess.
Right, but why wouldn't he have knocked on my door or like tried to, or called the landlord and said this happened? He was just going to leave it and clean it up? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's weird. Well, he probably came back in and said, "I did it." And then he was like, "Well, I'll clean up the mess, but that's the most I could." So what did you say to him?
Nothing. I just learned jiu-jitsu. I just started going to jiu-jitsu back then, but I was smoking weed and I was really, I definitely loved Kurt, but I was depressed. I didn't realize I was depressed.
When you guys were dating?
Mm-hmm. Not the whole time, but I was very depressed. I was just very triggered by everything. I was going through so much trauma from my childhood and all these like molestation stuff, and the Me Too stuff really fucking would trigger me. I was just like, "Shut up. What are you guys talking about?"
Yeah. Yeah.
Just crazy shit. And
well, also,
but
like,
I don't take any of it personally.
You know,
I'm not triggered anymore like that.
Kurt's like a moody guy.
Yeah.
So just being around that.
He's very triggered. So then he'd be triggered, then I would get triggered, and it was a lot of negativity.
Yeah, hard to find a balance.
But he's like, Kurt is my fucking sweetie for life. I love him so much. He really is.
How tall is he?
He's 6'4", and his dick is so big, and I will always miss it.
Who doesn't love big dicks, right?
Honestly, I love them so. I didn't realize until Kurt, because it's such a chemistry thing too, because there have been guys with way smaller dicks that like I've gagged, I've like almost puked on them sucking their dick and stuff.
Because of how small they were.
No, that's so funny. I just looked at it and I was like, No, but just like nauseous. It just like my throat.
If I put a small dick in my mouth, I'm not even kidding. I get so nauseous. I'm shaming too. It's gross.
That's
sorry.
So
dude, guys can say shit about girls with fucking big pussies. Yeah, small dicks are the same.
Oh my God.
Fuck it.
Anyway, we should all just be chill with our gents and you find the ones that fit you.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you can make me come, I'm good. But it is crazy how good a big dick is and how much it makes you come.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Because I was like, I don't care. I don't give a shit. I was always dating like fat guys or whatever. I'm like, I never care about anything superficial. Dick size, who cares?
I miss the soreness of a big dick.
Yeah, it's fun to be like, will it go back?
No, like this.
Is this ever gonna go back?
Steven said when we first started fucking that my pussy was so loose. And now he said it's like shrinked back.
But what's funny is when you fuck a big dick too, you can't help but kegel on it. You're like kegeling on it the whole. Well, for me at least, I'm just like kegeling on it the whole time.
Well, you just have to like adjust, or that's just
like,
your body contracting.
It's like my pussy's getting so tight while it's getting loosened. But I fucked Kurt like twice a day. I loved banging Kurt.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's giant. I was over at the house getting something, and he was in the shower. I was like, let me just see it for old time's sake.
Really?
Yeah.
And
he just flopped it out.
Is it big when it's soft too?
Yeah, it's just giant.
Whoa.
It's big.
Do you have a pic?
No.
Okay.
I lived with it. I saw it all day. I was like, I don't need a pic.
I don't know. Just like something to reference.
His dick was in the Sasha show, but it was a bad angle.
It was?
Yeah, they had to show a dick pic for something, and it was Kurt's dick.
Where did you guys write for that?
At the
In LA.
Yeah, in Los Angeles.
Oh, okay.
Can you cut that out? I'm not supposed to say where it is. Is that something?
No one knows what I'm talking about.
I'm just totally not allowed to say that.
Oh, okay.
I like signed a non-disclosure agreement.
Jonah, take that out. That's my producer.
Oh, producer, take that out, please. Just that one part, because I don't want to go to prison.
Okay. But they shot it in DC.
All
right?
over the place, yeah. But it was cool because I was in DC doing a weekend too.
Oh, really?
That same weekend, yeah.
Oh, so you came and watched the...
I didn't get to watch, but we wrote and stuff. And
yeah. Is Sasha cool?
The coolest.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he's so cool. He's so funny. He's the man. He's a good dude. He's like a really good guy, good husband.
Yeah, him and his wife were really cute together.
They're so cute. He's so good. They came into the Comedy Store once. Were you there that night?
Really? No.
I've never looked cooler. First of all, I was taking a picture in a trash can in the doorway.
When they walked in?
Right before they walked in. Like, I had just gotten out of the trash can. It was...
But, like, you could have done that with him. If he happened to walk in on that moment...
It would have been so funny.
That would have been okay.
Yeah, it would
with
have been
a guy
funny.
like him.
He's so cool. I still get, like... I'm still, like, starstruck. He's so funny. He's just so great to be around. But he and his wife and Chappelle and Chris Rock walked in, like, moments after I removed myself from a trash can. You should look the Instagram picture up. It's pretty hot. But, and then I was like, oh, I haven't seen Sashi. And he called me. He was sitting in the bucket seats in the back of the OR, and he was like, oh, come sit with us. And I sat in between him and his wife, and he was like, oh, Annie, we're on the show. She's like, congratulations. It was so good. I'm like, you're congratulating me on your husband's show. You're so cool.
Yeah.
Like, just so cool. So
and she's
nice.
so cute.
She's so pretty.
Does she have an accent?
She's Australian, I think.
Oh, okay.
But I didn't talk to her too much. And then, we watched the show, and he was all nervous. I think that we're like maybe going to bring him on stage.
Oh, really?
But he's so cool. He's the funniest. He's so talented.
Extremely.
And it was just fun. And I just remember, like, I think Stephen Fury, someone walked by, and I was like...
So you recently had a spiritual experience at a Papa Roach concert.
Yes. So
what was your state spiritually beforehand? And then what happened during the concert and after?
Okay.
Take us on a journey.
Before, I was feeling pretty stuck. I'd been in this sort of negative space, smoking weed, messy apartment, negative, like very in love, but very codependent, very on top of each other. I was like, I would like cook breakfast and stuff. You ever cook breakfast for someone and they're annoyed you cooked them breakfast?
No.
I've been on both sides of that.
No, that sounds crazy.
I've been on both sides of that. Where they're like, stop doing nice things for me. I feel bad about myself. I think I was in that situation.
Okay.
But
Let's just call it an abusive relationship.
No, I don't want to say that. No. But no, Kurt's a sweetie.
I actually had an experience like that recently. The other night, I went to like a seafood market and I got crab and I spent like $50.
Triggering.
On all
I'm triggered. They burrow.
Can you still eat crabs?
Yeah, I eat them all the time, and I think about I miss those guys. Honestly, when they were gone, I was like, who am I? That was my prop. They were my first props as a prop comedian.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, Steven, I just like, I'm going to make you this like really nice dinner. And he goes, well, I don't have time to come home. I go, okay, I just want to do something nice. I got like $50 worth of ingredients to make like a nice pasta dinner for you. And he was like, okay, like I get it. And I'm like, he's like, stop shaming me for not being there and spending all this money. And I was like, no, I think I was just describing how nice like I am. And I was like, this isn't about you. This is about me.
This is about you should be cherishing me.
Yeah. So that was my only.
All of my issues with the dudes are always me being like, where's the red carpet? Don't you think I'm amazing? And then I'm like, oh, I got to just be amazing and just fucking chill.
Yeah.
They're never going to give you what you want.
Right. You mean like wanting someone to point out something good you did?
Unless you tell them, boys are dumb, dude.
Yeah.
Sorry,
they are dumb.
They're not smart.
Yeah.
And your husband is so in his fucking head all the time.
Ugh, it's so annoying.
He can get out of it.
I overthink everything too, though.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely much more chill. I'm a chill, like I'm not easily affected or bothered for the most part by things like in the way that he's like 10 times worse. So
there's something about detaching yourself from taking things personally that I just realized. So anyway, so I was in a negative headspace. I was taking everything personally. I was so triggered, so traumatized by all the things that happened to me. Every Me Too that came out, I was screaming. There was a time where I was like, would be on the phone, like screaming to people like, I've actually been fucking raped, like screaming like that. In public.
Yeah, just
and
like
then people outside like that,
awareness.
outside the coffee shop just so triggered like that I couldn't even see that other people were living their lives.
Wow.
And some girl comes up and she goes, were you on at midnight?
Shut the fuck up. Shut up.
I swear to God. And I was like, I gotta rein it in. I'm a public figure.
That's an incredible moment.
Do you know how many? Okay, I was clothes shopping with Kyle Dunning, and I helped him pick out some outfits, and we were in Bloomingdale's.
Yeah.
And the guy that works there goes, "Oh my God, you're a comedian."
To you?
Yeah, I go, yeah, because you're so funny, and I'm like looking at Kyle like, I don't know, dude, pretty fucking sweet, pretty successful, and I go, where do you know me from? And he goes, you called me a faggot at the Ice House. It's like the funniest thing that's ever happened to me. I was like, well, I do remember you, and you were quite a faggot. Anyway,
Still are. Anyways.
Bundle of six that orders gluten-free beer. Don't get mad at me. Anyway, so
well, looks like I was right at Bloomingdale's.
Yeah, I know. I'm just like, you do sell women's clothes to men. Tight pants to men. But so negative headspace. And then a couple years ago, I had done a heavy metal cruise called Shipwrecked with Big J. Okerson. And headlining the cruise was Papa Roach. And it was just so fun to be on this cruise. And we had artist pass so we could just go to anyone's shows. And everyone was there to see Papa Roach. And it was just fun to be living everyone's like middle school dream. Just going backstage with them. We partied with them and hung out with them, had a great time. Did Molly with like one of their siblings and he almost died. I mean, it was crazy. It was a nightmare. I almost killed one of them. But he lived and everything was fine. Did you know they have infirmaries on boats? Now I do. But everyone's cool. We had a great time and we stayed in touch on Instagram. And then I saw they were playing the Roxy. This was like, what? It was right before Brody died. Was it been 4 months? It's been 4 months?
I can't remember.
I'm just before and after Brody at this point. It was right before Brody.
Okay. Before
our angel left us. I don't know what the acronym for that is.
Yeah.
But I went to, so I saw that and I DM'd them and I was like, hey, I would love to come back. I would love to come hang out with you guys. And the drummer wrote back, I bet you would, or something like that. I took as this personal, because I take everything personally.
Okay, take a step back. You guys are Papa Roach.
Well, I don't talk shit on Papa Roach. They're my church. I love them. I praise Papa. I praise the Papa. You can say whatever you want, but I don't agree. Okay. Papa Roach is number one. So Tony, or the drummer, he wrote me that, and I took it very personally, and I thought, oh, he doesn't want me. I'm just so depressed at this point. I'm like not into my jokes anymore. I'm just not feeling it. I'm not feeling good. I'm feeling negative. I'm broke. I'm in this relationship. I'm just smoking weed. I'm not doing good things. And so I just decided to not go to the thing. And my friend Kevin Burnett had just died, who I had come up with. He's a comic. He's very funny. Bird Luger. A lot of people brought him up, but he died in Mexico. And so I was dealing with that, and I hadn't seen him in a while. So it wasn't like the Brody thing for me, but it was, it was intense. It was before Brody too, so it felt more intense. And it was really sad, and I missed him. And so I just was depressed and didn't go. And then I got a DM from them like, where were you? We were waiting for you. We looked for you everywhere. And I was like,
Papa Roach?
Yeah. And I was like, oh, they were just joking because I'm a comedian. They were just saying something like funny back to me. And I just took it personally.
Yeah.
Like the I bet you do was not a fuck you. They were just messing with me.
Yeah.
I just read a text wrong like an idiot. And so then I was like, oh, I used my friend as an excuse. I was like, my friend died. Can I come tonight? I said, yeah. And then nobody would go with me. Everyone's an idiot. I'm like, do you not realize?
I would have went, by the way.
I didn't ask for people. I would have gone to your wedding if you'd invited me too.
Really?
It was too late though. It was too early.
Now we know.
No, it was too early. We weren't there yet. But so I'm glad I ended up going alone. So I go backstage. I'm hanging out with Papa Roach. It's great to see them. We're taking pictures, having fun. And then they go on stage and they open with
Last
Resort, which is bold. Because I was only going to stay for a couple songs because I never watch music.
It's bold, you mean, because it's not like a couple.
It's their hit.
Yeah. That is
hit.
bold.
You
It's like Louis
with
C.K. doing his best joke and working backwards.
Yeah, exactly. So awesome. I was like, okay. So then, and then I was like, maybe I'll stick around. And I ended up staying the entire time. I was crying about my friend Kevin. I was like right by the mosh pit crying. I was listening to the music, feeling it, feeling all the lyrics. Like I do cut myself open just to feel. Like the scars do remind me that the past is real. Like I just was like in it, feeling it. And I wasn't in the mosh pit because I don't have health insurance, but I was near it. And then Jacoby, the lead singer, he dove into the crowd like they've been doing this for over 20 years, so they're in their 40s at this point, and he's just diving into the crowd.
Wow.
They're giving everything they have. They had sold out shows there. He at one point he makes a heart to the audience with his fingers, and I'm like, oh, love your audience, duh. He's like does that, and then he said there was a couple things he said. First thing he said was, he goes, "Hey LA, we love you. Last time we were here." When we first came out here 20 years ago, all we got were no's. But now we know the work starts at no, right? And everyone's like cheering. And all the people there, Chelsea just reached for a cup that wasn't there. It was funny. And all the people that were there weren't like, nobody needed a babysitter anymore. Like everyone's like old, like their kids are old enough to watch themselves.
Like the kids were there too.
Like the kids could have been there if they wanted, but they're like, this is lame. They're not on Spotify. So, I mean, they are. But they're still good. Everyone chill. But so everyone fucking revisit and just get on board. It's so good. So I'm having this religious experience. I'm crying. I'm with all the wives over in the wives section. I'm just weeping. I'm alone. I'm dancing. I'm feeling it.
Are you comfortable crying in public, or was this a special night?
I mean, it was dark and no one could see me, so I felt like I could cry. But I mean, it's nothing to do with comfort. I just cry in public. It's involuntary. But I have been handling myself. I'm better now. But I used to just be screaming all the time.
Okay.
Just always upset in public. My poor parents. But, you know, they did drop me off to get raped. But whatever. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
I forgive them.
Someone needs Lottie.
Give me the molester dog.
Lion.
Lion. I don't like it being called Lion.
Leopard?
Because everybody called me a liar.
Lion.
I'm triggered.
Okay, so anyways, you're crying in Papa Roach.
Crying in Papa Roach, and they said everyone, you know, the work starts at no, and I go, that's not true for me. I start like trying to try that on. I'm like, no. I'm like, people have come to me and wanted me to do things all the time. I stop myself. I say no to myself. I have low self-esteem, or I don't think I'm good enough, or I have imposter syndrome. I feel like I don't belong and I don't deserve things. So then when people are offering me things or people want me to submit for things, I'm like, oh no, it's not good enough, or I couldn't, or whatever. Like I'm not ready or something. And that's myself stopping myself. I've turned so many things down. I've turned late night sets down. I've turned things down, opportunities, because I just wasn't in the right headspace. And I just realized I got to step up. Like, it's like, if I have to believe in myself if I want other people to believe in me. And
Totally.
these people are already believing in me, and they're going, we want you for this thing. And I'm going, no, you don't. So I kind of had that flip where I was like, oh, I was like, I'm good. I'm great. I'm ready for everything. I don't need to be turning things down. I'm the one in my way. I have to get out of my own way. And then they did the thing that I said earlier where they traced a heart with their fingers. And I went, oh, fuck. I need to be tracing a heart with my fingers to my audience, because what I'm doing with my audience is I'm projecting all these people that you're the teacher that jerked off on me. You're the old man that molested me. You're the guy who like day raped me in college. You're the, you know, you fucking fuck you, you're my dad, or you're like anyone that's ever done anything bad to me. That's literally how I was looking at the audience. So I was coming out. Yes, I was coming out negative and worried that they were not going to like me, or like I was coming out in some sort of debt that I needed to repay and like win them over. And so then if a joke didn't go, I'd be like, oh, they don't think I'm funny, they hate me. And that's not, I was just projecting all of this stuff, and I was, kind of paranoid that people didn't like me. And so I realized that that's not the case, and I just need to be approaching my audiences with love. And the next night I had a main room set. It was sold out. And they'd put me on the marquee. It was cool. And now that I had an ear for it and I was starting to notice it, Ian Edwards brought me up and he said my name. And I could hear like 25% of the crowd cheer louder because it was my name.
Really?
Do you know what I mean? Like I could hear that they were there to see me. And I'm going, fuck, this whole time I have these fans and these people that are coming to see me. Because every once in a while, if I had to cancel a spot, I would get a DM like, oh, we came to see you.
Really?
Where were you?
Yeah.
Stuff like that. And it was so, I had an inkling, but I wasn't
so surprised.
But I wasn't looking for that. I didn't see that.
You weren't available.
I was only I wasn't available to see it. And and then I had a heckler or something and I said, don't fucking heck, I'm from Philly, I'll fuck you up. And the guy goes, I know you're from Philly. And people are like, we know you're from Philly. It was just like crazy where I'm like,
wow.
Oh, I have people that, what am I doing? I need to be my best for them. And it's a communal thing, I'm there to entertain them and they're there to feed back into the jokes with their laughter. So I just, every time I sort of feel a little negative, but I don't feel that way anymore. I'm just like, can't wait to like party on stage. It's so exciting.
And ever since then, like I feel like your attitude, stage presence, and like general behavior like seems definitely different, like very light, very positive, open, and definitely much more friendlier. I feel like I can remember like you kind of having like a bitter relationship with the crowd.
Yeah, I was like mad at them. And I still fuck with them now, but it's like as a joke. It's like as a friend.
But it's like we're all in it together.
Yeah.
Instead of like you
raped me. I would come out with like this. I'm like, I may be saying these jokes, but what I really mean is you raped me.
And it's like such an awesome change. I mean, a lot of people have these like growth things, and it's so cool to watch them, and it's cool to like see something that's so different.
Yeah, Papa Roach,
and it's inspiring and open, and like, and even like smiling on stage and coming out being happy and like.
Just like, don't bum everyone out. Everyone's trying to have a good time. They want you to succeed. Don't go out there thinking they don't want you to succeed. That's so psychotic. Why would they not want you to succeed?
Yeah, and then you started bringing props.
I got some props.
What's up with the props?
Well, when you go on late, it's like people are tired and stuff, so...
Were you influenced by anyone?
No, where did I get the sword? I just always wanted a sword.
Or you just saw a sword one day and you're like, I'm going to bring this with me.
I wanted a sword. I've always wanted a sword. Just a real sword. I've just always wanted one.
Really?
Yeah, I want a sword. Why the fuck would someone not want a sword?
How long have you wanted a sword for?
Just forever.
Really?
We found a sword once.
Shit?
No, I just want to have a weapon.
Where does that come from?
Just having like a cool, fun sword.
I've never wanted a sword.
My dad,
I'm trying to understand.
Chelsea, I honestly think you need to open your heart, because why would you not want a sword?
Okay, maybe I've wanted nunchucks.
Yeah, you want like a thing.
Nunchucks.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm trying to think of what weapon I would relate to.
So years ago, we found a sword in the house, my and my brothers.
What do you mean you found a sword?
We found a sword, a legit sword.
What do you mean?
We found a sword on the table and we went, whose sword is this? And nobody would claim it. We're like, Dad, is this your sword? And he's like, no.
That's weird.
And we're like, Dad, it's your sword. It was definitely my dad's sword. But we're like, Dad, you have a sword. And he's like, it's not my sword. And then it was obviously a sword. But
do we know to this day?
It's definitely my dad's sword.
Not confirmed.
I can text him.
Not confirmed.
It was just like him not admitting it.
He's being funny.
Yeah, he just wasn't admitting it. It was just so funny to have an anonymous sword.
That is funny.
So then we have all these pictures. They're on my Facebook. I'll put them on my Instagram after this is posted, of just me and my brother and my dad holding the sword. And then I just always be like, swords are cool. Like ever since that, I've been like, swords are a power move. They're fun.
And then when you couldn't find your sword,
So then I got a before the sword, I started bringing up sticks and stuff because...
that was first.
Oh, you know what it was? Jeremiah's axe was in the back for Kill Tony.
Oh.
That's how it started. So it was back there. I was like, I want to bring the axe on stage. And the reason I like it is because when you go up late, people are sleepy and I'm sleepy. So it keeps if I'm doing it right, if I'm using the prop right, it's not about the prop. It's just I have a thing to smack on the table in between jokes. And it keeps my pacing up. I like when my pacing's fast. And I go, da-da-da-da-da. It's a joke. It's like kind of like Brody.
Choreography.
It's like Brody, you know? Like,
yes.
Here's my joke. Here's my joke. Here's my joke.
Orchestrating.
Or like a tell. Joke. Like I like to be like joke. I think I'm funnier when I'm faster. I sped up after Papa Roach too. I started speeding up my set. And I think I do better now. But, you know, sometimes the prop fucks up. Doesn't help. But I don't know. It's kind of just like me just having the most fun I can. And I think since Brody died, I've been just trying to have as good of a time and lean into the light and just be light and love. I hug everyone. I hug even Josh Martin. I hug everyone and just tell everyone I love them and just try to be love and light and have a good time and just make sure we're all like laughing and having a good time.
So you found a gold chain shortly after.
I just like to get props. I've always liked props. Who doesn't like a thing?
What spoke to you about this gold chain?
The gold and the chain of it.
I mean, but you've been wearing it now every day.
Yeah, I wear it just in my outfits.
Now you just wear it. Just wear it. It's not a prop anymore. Now it's a piece of jewelry you own.
Yeah.
Like, Annie walked in here wearing the gold chain I saw her wearing at the Comedy Store.
Yeah, and I took it off because it was going to be too
jingly. A couple nights ago. Now it's a necklace, though. Do you see that? It's not a prop anymore. That's like
style.
a sweatshirt you're wearing.
Well, here's what I'm going to tell you. Watch how people are going to start wearing them. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Is this something you saw on your ayahuasca trip?
No, I just am having... people go, why do you have a sword? And I go, why wouldn't I have one? And they go, oh, good point.
Yeah.
Why? My life is a playground.
Okay.
I'm so blessed. I have the most amazing career, the most amazing job, the most amazing friends. My friends are the funniest people on earth. Most of them are fucking millionaires. Mm-hmm. People are killing it. Like, how much fun do we have? It's the most fun all the time. The Comedy Store, like, I know you guys work there, so it's annoying, but even when it's annoying, it's way better than anything else.
I love everyone there.
It's the coolest.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I have the number one life I could imagine for myself. And I realized actually on Special K, I was like, oh, my life is recess. I'm playing. Well, so I'm just trying to play. I mean, I got to still do the work. You still have to have the jokes and stuff, but I'm playing. I'm having fun and like being silly and brightening it up. You know, I'm not going to like lean into the dark anymore and worry about being molested. I'm going to just have toys that show everyone I was molested.
Yeah, I love that about the play. I did this like physical comedy workshop over the weekend for 2 days, which was really fun because I wanted to be a lot more physical on stage and just more vulnerable. And I can make a lot of weird facial expressions. Yeah. And I just want to be playing more into that and adding that, you know, as a part of my performance instead of just standing there and talking. Yeah. And when I did this workshop, it was so much fun. It felt like play. Yeah. It didn't feel like a chore. It didn't feel like, I have to write jokes. It didn't feel like, I have to like do this or that. It felt like play. And I was like, that's like that aspect that sometimes I'm missing.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, it's just you go through waves because when this is your career, it's like
the Pratt felt like play.
Yeah, it's so fun, right?
It really just like lightens everything up, and
it's just so fun.
Yeah, it brings a different energy, I think, and the audience likes to see you genuinely enjoying yourself, and they want to see something. You know, they want to see something fun and different every once in a while too, and stuff, and.
But I like smacking around that sword. It's fun.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, it's fun.
I would.
I mean, I bombed once with it, and it's very funny to bomb while holding a toy. Mm-hmm. I was like, this is so. I mean, the jokes came afterwards, not during. The gift of that set was laughing afterwards, certainly not during.
I brought some props on stage before, and I had like a show in the Belly Room like last year, and they used to have a lot of props back there in the green room, and I just walked out on stage with like a different mask and a different prop in between each comic because I was hosting, and it was so funny. I started crying laughing, and I had a crying laughing fit on stage, and that was the first time that had happened to me. The second time was recently.
I was so funny. I saw
Eliza.
That. Yeah, that was hilarious with Punky.
But so it's happened twice now, and it's like. It's crazy. Has that ever happened to you, crying, laughing? Like, you know, when you're laughing to the point of crying and you just can't, like, you're overcome and you like literally cannot pull it together.
Yeah, for sure.
It's kind of a weird out of body experience to have on
great.
stage.
And it's like someday we'll make the audiences feel that way. Mm-hmm. But I definitely I like being silly. I just want to be silly. I've been so serious all the time, so worried. So anyway, then I did ayahuasca. I got off stage in the main room 2 Wednesdays ago, and there was a couple in the audience, and the guy held his hand up. And I went, well, I'll take a high five. I high-fived him. And
what happened on ayahuasca?
He ended up being an ayahuasca shaman was why I was bringing him up. But
sorry.
Oh, no, you don't have to apologize. No, I want to get to it faster because you don't need to hear all that. But it was just the only reason I was saying this, I had been talking about how much I wanted to do ayahuasca because as much as I can see these things and as much as like I can look at our experience with Brody and what happened to our family, really, this shifting and the feeling. I've just been dealing with that feeling of when you're a waitress and you have a tray of drinks and someone grabs a drink all of it. I feel like and then it's like this rebalancing. It's like that's kind of what all of us are doing with Brody.
That's so interesting.
Right? Like we're all just like, whoa, how do we like rebalance when like our friend died, our special like baby Brody's gone, and he was so important to the weight of our balance. He really was. Mm-hmm. And so just sort of trying to figure that out, but just always this sort of darkness in me and just how do I get it? And just that's why, I don't drink, I don't smoke weed anymore. Quitting smoking weed was the greatest thing. Quitting drinking was years ago, so that was obviously monumental, but quitting smoking weed, like if you're someone that's out there that's like smoking weed all day and you're a little depressed and you don't know why and you're like, why am I depressed and I can't get stuff done but at least I have weed. Just consider maybe it's the weed.
Wait, when did you stop smoking weed?
I stopped smoking weed like right before Kurt and I broke up. So I did Papa Roach and I had that sort of epiphany. And then Kurt was just too negative. Maybe I'm sharing too much information.
No, you're fine.
But he just wasn't able to match my positivity and I knew I had to go.
Of course.
And it wasn't like, I genuinely I can tell you I love Kurt for eternity. Like he is one of my best friends for life and life and life and life. But I just had to get out of that. I was so trapped.
Totally normal.
And he's better, I think, without me too. It's not even a thing.
Wrong time.
Right. Not wrong time. Wrong moment. We're supposed to be. He's my best friend. He was my best friend for 10 years. That's what we're supposed to be. But so. And I got some dick out of it in the middle. But so
big dick.
It was so big.
So big.
So big. So then I just still had this darkness. So I've been saying I really want to do ayahuasca because I'd done DMT and I tried doing DMT by myself and I'd had a pretty profound experience like 3 weeks ago. And
what
so
happened? That was
I
profound.
felt okay. So I'd never done it alone. I'd always done it with friends, and I'm codependent and I'm always concerned with other people. So if I smoke DMT with someone next to me, it's hard for me to go all the way in because I'm worried about, and before I had these twitches that I thought were PTSD, and now I think there's something really crazy, but these twitches that I thought were PTSD. So sometimes when I do a hallucinogen, I started twitching and I just didn't want people to be worried that I was having like a seizure or something. So I had trouble really like letting go and smoking enough to really go through. So when I was alone, I could just do that. I was just free to do that. And I had this image of, and this feeling of like sticky, like the woman that comes to you, or that I could feel she was to the right or to the left, to the left of me. I could feel her. And it was like, she was showing me this like sticky, and I realized like I'm icky poo, right? Remember that toy that was the sticky hand that you would throw against the wall?
Yes.
That's what I am. That's what I've been being. So I'm this thing that sticks to the wall, and I'm going around going, I'm cool, I'm independent. Like I was seeing this guy and I was, I'm like, I'm being cool, I'm being relaxed. Like, no, I'm being fucking so sticky, and I'm trying not to show that. But even with Kurt, I was so like sticky to him.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just
codependent?
Codependent,
Sort
of. Yeah, sure. But
on top of someone.
But just like, just being so overly concerned with him. I was that way with my brother, with my twin.
Okay.
I smothered him.
Yes.
I smothered him. I would beat the shit out of people that came near him. And he's like, yo, leave me alone. Like, why are you doing this? Because it would embarrass him.
Yeah.
So I was always just trying to protect and control and do all this stuff. And it's just inappropriate. And then also is sticky with the icky poo is sticks to the wall and eventually it just falls off. Mm-hmm. So like I can be like obsessed with someone and then boom, gone. Mm-hmm. So I always have to remember that. It's like, why am I obsessed with this person's in and out maybe? But then also you attract a lot of dirt. It gets all sticky and dirty and gross really easily. So I think that too, I was kind of like being stickiness to negative stuff. But anyway, so that's what I had with that. And I was sort of aware of that. So then I was like, that's not enough. I want to do ayahuasca. So I get off stage and this guy in the audience ends up being an ayahuasca shaman, and through a few people I find this out, and then he invites me to come do this. They had a dropout and he invites me to do this weekend that weekend. So that's a Wednesday. So I cancel my spots, which I never do. I never cancel a spot. And why would I cancel? Literally the joy and these slices of heaven that we get to have on fucking stage. But so I thought about it. I was a little nervous about it, because I didn't want to lose the spots, but I canceled the spots and I went to San Diego and
oh, you did it in San Diego?
Yeah, well, it's a guy that he travels he lives in Brazil, and he travels all around the world, and they just happen to have one. Like, that's why it was so crazy.
A ceremony.
Yeah, they just happened. People flew in from all over the world.
To San Diego.
And
you went with 2 of our other friends.
Yeah, 2 days before. 2 days before I found out. They all have been planning this for like a year. 6 months at least. Isn't that crazy?
Wait, you did ayahuasca twice in 2 days?
No, yeah, in the ceremony we did. Yeah, it was a whole weekend.
But what do you mean 2 days before?
I'm just saying 2 days before I found out about this. It happening. All these people have been preparing for...
Oh, and that are the 2 people that we know who you went with?
All of them had been preparing for it
They were already going to it.
Yeah, they were already going to it. And it was their friend that came. So he was like, come to the Comedy Store and I'll hook you up. So they came, and then I got off stage and I randomly high-fived this guy.
Oh,
and then
our friend...
Yeah, and then our friend was like, because I was staying late at the Comedy Store, I was smoking cigarettes. I'm like, why am I being self-destructive? Why am I smoking cigarettes? What am I doing? And I go into the office, and our friend comes up to me and goes, oh my God, I was trying to find you. My friend was in the audience. He wanted to meet you. He's come here twice from Brazil, and you're his favorite comedian.
Wow.
And I went, he's probably trying to fuck me. He goes, he's gay. I'm like, whoa, a real fan. And he goes, yeah, he really likes you. He keeps saying that to me. And I'm like, oh, cool. What does he do? And he said he does meditation. I go, oh, cool. I like meditation. He goes, actually, he's an ayahuasca shaman. I just don't tell people that all the time. And he goes, I'm facilitating this weekend with him up in San Diego. And I was like, I really want to do ayahuasca. I was like, but I have spots. And he's like, I think there's a spot left in this thing, and I think you'll really like it. I'm like, yeah, but money, I need money, and I don't cancel spots. And
yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. And he goes, just think about it. He goes, but it sounds like you're trying to talk me out of it, but you're talking yourself out of it. I'm like,
yeah.
I don't know. So then the guy called me the next day and was like, we were just laughing on the phone. He was like, we'd love to have you. And so I just canceled my spots and I went up and did it. And it was a whole weekend. It was really amazing. And this guy was like chanting the whole time. And I was skeptical the first night because I'm like, what's all these white people like doing Native American shit? I mean, he's chanting. They have like palm fronds and they're like shaking things and they're blowing smoke at you and spitting stuff and doing all these things. So you felt
like a little judgmental at first.
Well, yeah, I was skeptical.
You were guarded. I would be too.
But also I'm just going, what is this shit? I'm going like, what is this like white people like?
I get that.
I just was like, all right, guys. And then we were around a fire and we took.
What were you wearing? Did you all wear what? You had to bring like warm, comfortable clothes. And we were by the fire. I wore my Brody sweatshirt. Mm-hmm. But then it smelled like campfire, so I didn't wear that again. I wore just like sweatshirts and sweatpants and stuff and tank tops. And so we did San Pedro, which is mescaline that night. And I didn't feel it that much, but I did see my ex-boyfriends in the fire. Really?
Yeah, I saw like the image of all my ex-boyfriends and he was doing like a cutting cord ceremony, so I cut the cords from them.
That's so interesting.
Yeah, it was weird. I saw the image of them in there. Huh. And my ex-boyfriend's like backwards hat. It was funny. And I did not see the guy that I was currently kind of spinning about.
Because it's not time for it to burn.
Yeah, I just was like, we'll still see that one out. And I was like spinning about a guy. And I'm like, why am I spinning about a guy? Like, what am I doing? That's so weird to spin about someone who's just been cool and nice.
But that's normal though in the beginning of any relationship.
It just was obsessive. I was being obsessive and there was no reason.
But
but I was like, but why am I being like this? Because it's just enjoy the moment, like enjoy the experience, and who cares how it works? It's fine. This is my friend, by the way.
Right.
I'm gonna be friends with this person no matter how this ends up. Nothing is gonna be everything will be fucking perfect. But I couldn't see that. I was too busy. Like, does he not like me? He doesn't compliment me. He doesn't do this enough. Like all of these things where I'm like needing him to like roll this red carpet out, be like, you're perfect. You're amazing. Like all these things that are just, I needed this validation from him and I wasn't getting it. And I was just feeling so, even though he was, you know, in a lot of ways giving it to me. So then, but I was just spinning and I was just making it like I couldn't get my work done. I always have some guy I'm worried about and I can't get my work done. I'm never getting my work done. I'm always waking up and I'm calling on my friends and I'm like,
I've been
calling my parents, but not even just like been there. Like I was that always.
Me too. Before my relationship now.
Right. But I just couldn't like
You hit a bottom with it.
It's like, what am I doing? And so I'm at this ayahuasca thing and the next day we drank tobacco and then
Really?
Not everyone, but we drank tobacco.
Why?
I was down to do everything because you wanted to purge. And then you chug
To
this
throw
warm
up?
water and I puked up an entire bucket of puke.
Ew.
A lot of people didn't do it. You don't have to do that. But
why?
it's supposed to make your body cleaner and more receptive
For the
ayahuasca.
ayahuasca. So
and
it's all prepping for that.
Yeah, but nobody most people didn't do it. Ugh. Half the people didn't do it.
Did our friend do it? Of course.
No.
Oh, really?
He didn't like it because he said that it made him have a stomachache last time.
Yeah.
But so I just, I decided to go all in.
You threw a whole bucket.
Yeah.
Were you like, did you?
I was so proud of myself.
What did you guys do after to like replenish yourselves?
We ended up, they gave us food. They gave us some food.
You didn't feel like out of it?
I felt great.
Really?
Yeah, I just was the way it unfolded, it was just so obvious that I was supposed to be there and that I was supposed to do all these things. Mm-hmm. And I really do try to lean in. Okay. Always. I try to lean in. I really do. And I try to be brave. That's a lot. With hallucinogens, I'm always like, be brave, do the brave thing. Brave, brave, brave. So I never be scared. Brave. It's not scary. It's like a lesson. Nothing's bad, you know? So, you know, I had already done all this work just through my Papa Roach experience of not taking things personally, not being negative towards other people, really trying to curb all of my, like, shit talking is fun if you have a good joke and stuff. Every once in a while you got to throw it out, but not like judging other people because that's a waste of time. That's negative energy. They're just doing their thing. It has nothing to do with me. I'm taking something personally. And if I'm taking something personally, that means I'm taking time away from myself to worry about another thing that I could be working on my own shit. So I'd already done all that work, but I'm still kind of spinning about this guy. And I talked to this British guy and I go, I can't stop thinking about this guy. It's so annoying. I want to stop thinking about him. He goes, Annie, I think you should just like concentrate on what's coming up, because talking to him, I realized it's not about this specific dude, right? It's about it's the feeling behind the dude and why do I always feel this way? Why is this like a pattern in my life? And why don't I get my work done and why am I not living to my fullest potential? So then when we did the ayahuasca, I ended up taking 3 cups throughout 5 hours or something. And I started to hallucinate. And they have like an altar you go up to and they do a whole ceremony and stuff. And you're in sleeping bags and you have your own little, sleeping cot area next to each other. And our friends were next to me. And Mother Ayahuasca is what they call her. She came to me and I was just seeing stars and stuff. I didn't see a lot of visuals. A lot of people see really wild things. But I just was like laying there and she came to me and I just was talking to her. I was just asking her questions. I go, why do I feel so unloved? I was listening to that Kanye song, the Bound 2 song, where it was like Kim and him on the horse.
I don't know.
Remember that song that came out with the music video? But there's a line that says, you're tired of loving with nobody to love. And that's how I was feeling driving up. I was like, I have all this love and I have no one to give it to and I'm not getting it back. And like, where's the love?
Give it to yourself.
Not even give it to herself. Oh. She comes to me and I'm going like, why do I not trust love? Like, why am I so upset?
And was it an energy or was it an actual being that you
I don't know.
saw?
I was like speaking to her. I don't know. I didn't see anyone. I didn't see like a face, but I was just talking to her. Okay. And it was just me talking to myself and I was like whispering to myself like, over and again. But I went like, what is it? And I always thought it was like, I'm codependent with my brother or whatever. She just goes, it's your dad. And I went, and it was like a key to every door in my life just like turned and unlocked and opened.
Really?
Everything. And I went like, I mean, obviously I should have thought of that, but I just didn't think of that. And there's 2 parts to it. So when I was little, my dad was very verbally abusive. He's my favorite person in the world. He's number 1. Like, he just gets me more than anyone. We're the most alike. He's my fucking person. And he's so funny and he's so cool. He's totally the reason I do comedy. He's totally the reason I'm funny. But he would take his anger out on me. Call me a selfish cunt, stupid bitch. Like all these really verbally abusive things that really fucked me up. And I like to think I'm strong and I'm tough and stuff, but I mean, that got in me. And that's, so all this low self-esteem that I've always had was like from these moments. And my dad, he got better. I mean, when I turned like 19, I think I talked back to, like I said something like, I'm not a fucking cunt. Like, you don't think that, you love me. He did so much work on himself. He's never been nasty to me in fucking 15 years, 16 years, nothing. So he's really worked on that. So I got to see where that's done. Like that's gone. Like that's not even a thing I need to worry about because that's completely doesn't exist anymore. What exists is how my dad is to me now. And he's lovely. He loves me. He's obsessed with me. He calls me all the time. I FaceTime with my dad all day. We just laugh and laugh. I was just like, God, I'm so blessed. And so this not trusting of love and like with this guy that I've been hanging out with and he was like doing all these sweet things and then would say something different. And I'm like, these are mixed signals or whatever. And instead of just being like, oh, you're being nice. Thank you for being nice. I was just looking at the negatives and it ending or the future because the other end of it is that my dad is old. He's always been 10 years older than my mom, and he's always had heart disease and stuff. So I've been worried about my dad dying since I was a little kid. So I've just been, worried about this thing that's definitely going to happen no matter what I do, trying to control this thing. I always say I'm always trying to grab water. I'm always trying to grab a handful of water, and I'm like, fuck. My whole life's so frustrated because I'm just trying to like grab this water, and it's just impossible. So I let my dad die in the ayahuasca. I just was like let him die. And I started to look at his life and back on his life and eulogize him and stuff. And I was crying so hard because I was, sad my dad died. And I put my hand on my chest and my hand got super heavy. And then my dad's hand was inside my hand. And then his body was inside my body. And I was like, oh, like, of course it's going to be sad when he dies, but he's not going to leave me because he is me.
Yeah.
He's me. We're the same thing. So there's no way he's ever going to leave me. He'll be with me my whole life. And so I was just thinking about that and I was like, oh my God, it just gave me all of this peace. And then I started eulogizing him and thinking like, man, this is my king. He's the king of my tribe. He created this tribe with my mom and it's my brothers and me. And we have these beautiful lives. We just are living like our greatest lives. So happy, all of us, so happy. We love each other so much. I was thinking about my brothers, how much they love me and how maybe they didn't protect me back then, but they protect me now. And they listen. I could scream at my family and they just don't even hang up on me. Like they're there, they're down. They're like, bitch, we're right here. I'm like, why doesn't anyone love me? They're like, what are you talking about, bitch?
Yeah.
Like, why are you talking about back then? Like right now, they're there. My brothers came to visit me in Santa Fe. I lived there for 7 years. They came to visit me for 2 days and I cried the entire time they were there because I knew they were going to leave. I've just been living my life like that, where it's like, enjoy it, bitch. Everything you want is here right now. Enjoy it. But just all here. And I was thinking of the tribe and everything. And my sister-in-law's coming in. And then the kids, my nieces and nephews, and how beautiful they are and how lucky I am. I was just like laughing, thinking about them. And then I started thinking about that guy. And I was thinking about how he's like I was thinking about him in his little house and his like with his telescope and shit and just being all weird and being like, he's like, I'm just trying to fit you in. Just trying to see if you fit. Like you might not fit. I'm just trying to see. Like, why are you mad at me? And it's like, oh, totally. That's like what seeing someone is like you're just trying to see if there's like a match.
Yeah.
Just like relax.
I like that. Trying to see if you fit in.
Yeah. Like, and he's just being so nice and cool.
Yeah.
Like a busy dude doing a lot of stuff. Like just finding time to hang out with me and stuff.
Yeah.
Like hanging out with his friends all mad. I'm like, they're cool. Like, that's so nice. It's just nice. So why am I being like about nothing? And then, and I was thinking about the Comedy Store and how that's another tribe, how I get to be a part of this other tribe and I'm a sister to all these guys and how cool they are and how like everyone's so cool and how Rogan's like this fucking king and how sweet he is to all of us, how nice he is to all of us. And just like Dalia, like fucking just everyone like all dressed nice and looking good. And everyone, I was just thinking about how we're just at this beautiful place where everyone's just being their shiniest and their brightest and their biggest and they're not fucking worried about. Like, if you worry about what, like, the little people think of you And I don't mean little people as like fans or whatever. I'm talking about like the people, the trolls or the people that want to hold you down because that's how they get their power. If you worry about that, you have no power, right? So it's like you don't even notice those. You're too busy rising and getting big. And I'm just thinking about all these people and how they all are my friends and they all follow me on Instagram and they all comment on my things. They all like are throwing me these like, you know, they're like, hey, we're with you. We're with you. Like, come on, rise up, bitch. Like, we got a spot for you. Come on in. It just like made me feel really good. And like, I'm such a part of this team and this family. And I'm a sister in this tribe. I'm a sister. And I think because I was molested, and you probably have this problem too, and my boundaries were fucked with, I'm a sister. I have 2 brothers. Yeah. And I hang out with dudes all the time, but it gets confused because I'm like, wait, are we going to fuck? Like, it's so confused. Like, am I being a sister or am I trying to fuck these people or what's happening?
I feel like I'm like a guy's girl.
Yeah, me too.
Like, I'm like most of my friends are guys instead of girls. And I feel like it's because I have a brother. Yeah. So I feel like I love, like, I don't, you know what I mean?
It's fun to hang. I'm comfortable there. It's what I did my whole life. It's not. And it's, you know, I still have, obviously I have my girlfriends and stuff, but most of them are the girls that hang out with dudes. Yeah. Yeah. It's just, we get along better. But so just sort of like acknowledging that and being like, oh, must be really confusing for dudes the way I come at them. Cause like I'm so intense, like a family member. And then also I'm like being slutty or something, you know? Right. So they're probably like, what do you want? Like, what are you doing? Yeah. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but it's just something that I like became aware of in it. Where it's like, oh, I got to remember this is my family. I'm a sister. Like these are my brothers, and obviously my sisters too. But like just this family feeling I just kept getting, and I was just like so honored to be a part of it, and just so lucky and just so psyched and just like here I was feeling unloved. I'm just like rolling around bathing in love and light, just like, oh my God. I like will cry in traffic since I did ayahuasca. I'll just be crying. Like I'm so lucky. I'm so blessed. I'm so blessed. Like I have the best life. I'm just so psyched. Everything's just so fun. I wake up in the morning and I was before ayahuasca too, just so happy.
That's incredible.
I'm like living on a couch. I mean, I'm getting my place in 2 days, so I have to stop saying live on a couch. Yeah. But I know things are moving on up, but it's because I'm being positive. Yeah. And also, like, I got money. Like, money just like, appeared in my account. I don't know how this happened since I came back from the ayahuasca.
Really?
So, wait. Oh, the last thing I want to say, I'm sorry I'm dragging on with the ayahuasca. I'll go really fast. No, it's
fine. It's interesting.
So then that was to my right, and that's the masculine side. And then I flipped to my right, which is the feminine side, and I thought about my mom. My mom's adopted, and I was like, oh my God, she got taken from her tribe. How sad is that? Like, she must feel so lost and so lonely no matter what. Because she was not with her like original tribe. And then my mom's 10 years younger than my dad. They're still married. I know she's worried about him dying. So I was like, I need to like carry my mom. I need to be strong for my mom. I need to be able to handle myself and not be so needy and so needing of this approval from people and so like worried about my dad dying to the point where I'm going to lose my shit when he does. And then like just abandon my mom and just leave her there. Like I need to be strong and get my shit together, get my life, become an adult, be able to handle these things that just happen to us in life. Our parents die. So I can take care of my mom and be strong for her and hold her through it and support her. And it's not about if my mom didn't give me what I needed when I was a kid. Who gives a shit? I'm a fucking comedian. Thank you for neglecting me. Look at me now. My life's beautiful. Worth it. I would get molested over and over again, you guys. And I fucking mean that 100%. I am living my number one life. So then I was thinking about that. And then I started thinking about Brody. And he was on my girl side because I think I was feeling so maternal, you know? And so like, but just weeping about him. Just like, I just lost it. I was just sobbing and thinking about him and just like, oh my God, my sweet baby Brody. Like, God, like, we loved him so much. I mean, he was so loved. Yeah. We just loved him. And I was thinking about how sad he felt in that last moment and how he couldn't feel us hugging him. Because don't you feel like we've all just been hugging him since he died? But we always were. Yeah. It was just been this group hug around Brody. And he couldn't feel us hugging him. And I was just like hugging him and like holding my like arms to my chest and just like, oh, sweet baby Brody, the sweetest, the most precious, the funniest, the best. Like, number one, like the best. He was our king. He was a king. He was walking around a king in our fucking land, like a king to us. And I just like, it was his time to go. And, you know, and he's my brother for eternity, like for lifetimes to come, just my brother for forever. And then I wanted to throw up because it's a part of the ceremony. So this has been 6 hours. That's why.
Oh my God.
It was only 7 for me to explain it. I'm like getting a headache. I've been talking so much. But anyway, so then
how long did it feel like?
I couldn't even tell you. It was
time
so
is
beautiful
distorted.
that I don't even know how much it felt like.
Okay.
But I was just like rolling around in like
Wow.
ecstasy because, okay, so then I get up and I was like, I wanted to purge because I knew it was a part of it. And I wanted to be brave. That thing I said before, always be brave. So I sat up and I put the bucket in front of me. And the guy has been singing for 6 hours, okay, in
What
another
is
language.
this singing? Like
It's just chants. Yeah, stuff like that kind of. Like maybe like that. I don't really know. I was tripping. But and coming around and doing these ceremonies, and he would take your hand and he would like spit the stuff in your hand. With his one big hand, he would take both of your hands. It was my favorite part of it. And you'd be looking up at him and he'd like spit the stuff in your hands. And I just would keep my hands up in like prayer, like, thank you, thank you. Thank you to this man who's just facilitated this
What
thing.
does he put in your hand?
I don't know. Some
Come.
It's jizz. No, everything was like some sort of thing he learned from Peru
Okay.
and all that stuff. So he knows all that. It was like amazing. And all that stuff I had been like skeptical about the night before. I'm like, no, you need to respect this woman and this medicine. And she
Right.
comes in and fixes your stuff. And it was just so, when my dad's hand was in my hand, it changed my life.
Wow.
I mean, I'm free. I'm free. So anyway, so I bring the bucket up and he's been chanting in a different language. And I'm starting to dry heave, but it doesn't hurt. There's nothing negative about it at all. It's just like this sort of natural, like dry heaving. And it felt like my throat was like trying to give birth to something. So I didn't want to like push it too much because you're not supposed to push or whatever.
Yeah.
And then he starts chanting or singing in English right as I'm like sitting up. Like, it's crazy. I'm like, are you fucking talking to me specifically? I mean, it was crazy. He was right there. I'm like, did he just do that because I just started? I mean, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, there's no way this isn't for specifically me. Because then he starts saying, he goes, the lyrics were something along the lines of, it will all be okay, just as they said, just as everyone's always said, everything will be okay.
Huh.
We take the pain from the dead and we turn it into light. I mean, I'm just crying about. I mean, it was crazy. And then something about, you know, the light comes after the dark. Always remember in the darkness that the light comes after.
How do you remember that?
Because it was the most profound experience of my life.
Okay.
And then so like as he's saying that, like it feels like my throat is giving birth to this egg that's like the feathers.
Legs first.
With feathers, yeah. Yeah. Breach. No, but like feathers, like it was like a bird that was being fertilized.
Yeah.
And so I'm like trying to give birth to it out of my throat. And then it felt like my ancestors were pushing the puke up. Like it didn't feel like painful. It felt like someone was helping me and pushing it up. And I puked and it was like a bird flew out of me.
Did you see that? Or
I
you
didn't
felt
see it. I felt a bird fly out of me.
That's amazing.
And I don't know if it was Brody flying out of me or like this darkness or whatever. But what I realized through the tribe, through that feeling of my dad on the right-hand side and this tribe, right? I was like, I want to keep my dad alive by having a kid. I never thought I wanted to have a kid. I didn't say I definitely didn't want to have a kid, but I was like, I don't see how it works.
Yeah.
I was like, no, I want to have a kid and I want to name him Brody from this side, from the left side, and just like carry on both of those things.
Yeah.
It just like came so clear to me. Like, and then throughout the week, I was like, oh, okay. And you just keep getting these like messages and just like more and more. And what I realized at the end is like, and what I shared with the group was like, especially with like the guy stuff that I was feeling and this panic, and it was all coming from me worrying about my dad's death and worrying about these inevitable things. It's like if I like start to fall in love with someone, right? If I start to like someone, I start to fall in love with them, and I start like loving, that's like a thing that comes out of me, and then that's outside of my body, and it's like existing in front of me, right? It's not in me anymore. And then they can match it, and then it can grow into something, or it's in front of me and it goes somewhere else or goes into my work or something like that. But it's just once it starts to happen, it's not mine anymore to control. All I can do is just sit back and like be there for the ride. And so with guys now, it's like I want to have a kid at some point. So if they don't want to, you know, you just hang out, have fun, and keep it open and loose. And maybe they become the person you want to have a kid with, or maybe you meet someone else that you want to have a kid with. You know, it's like I want to start a tribe, so it's just a different situation. It's not like I need to know you like me or whatever. I just like, it's like, oh, are we like little aliens that can be together and whatever? And it's just like a different thing.
And you did that inversion step, it's called, right? Inversion.
What's that?
I think it's called inversion. It's like the aftermath when you guys, like, that's like an important aspect of the end of the trip is like
when we all talked about.
Yeah.
about
you
that.
do
Are you
that.
talking about the immersion back into society?
Maybe that's what it's called. Well, I know that you're supposed to talk with like the shaman and
yeah,
stuff
we all went
after.
around and talked,
Yeah,
and then
and
we
that's
were
like
all
an
hanging
important
out. Yeah.
step that like
We did it again in the morning too, and I didn't really like. I don't really remember what was from the night before the morning or anything. Because I know I had a whole new trip the next day, but I think it was just tripping off of what I had tripped on before, just thinking about it. But it was that, I was thinking about that, and I was just thinking about all this love. Like, I'm so loved, and it was so silly of me to feel unloved. And it doesn't matter. Like, there's no controlling how the person feels about you. I'm literally getting everything I want. Everything.
Yeah.
And then I just need to, like love and light. And I kept thinking about this community and how it's like this hang and this fun family and stuff, and how everybody wants to hang out with us. Like, we have the best hang in the world as comedians, and especially at the Comedy Store. So now, like, I'm thinking about with my podcast that I'm going to have, where I'm going to have people write in their problems to my producer, and he's going to pick out the best problem. Then me and a guest comic are going to Skype them in and like fuck with them. And, and it's like, yeah, you get to hang. You can come in for a sec. Yeah, come in for a sec, hang with us. We're going to fuck with you, talk shit on you, make fun of you, try to help you, do all the things that comics do. Try to heal you by making fun of you, laugh with you, and all that stuff. And I just like, I'm like, oh yeah, there's going to be like merch involved. It's just like, just interactive, fun, just having a good time. Good
I love it. Well, Annie, we will look for that
I'm
podcast.
like, do I have a migraine? I talked so much.
No, it was great. You did a podcast.
Oh my God. How many hours was that?
It was an hour and 40 minutes.
Oh my God, you guys. I only chewed through 75 minutes.
But thank you so much for coming on. And where can people find you on social media?
My Instagram is my jam. So that's Annie Lederman, ANNIE LEDERMAN, with a little @ symbol in the front. And
funny pics and captions.
And then you can follow my podcast Instagram, which someone made fun of me and said that I was posting in third person, but I actually have a producer that posts for me, so I don't have to do that.
Sorry.
Sorry, you're wrong. It's Meanspiration Pod. So just figure out how to spell that, and then pod.
And then check you out at the
Instagram.
Comedy Store.
Then check me out at the Comedy Store. I have some dates coming up that I'll post on my Instagram that I don't remember right now.
Awesome. Cool.
All
well,
right.
thank you so
Thanks,
much.
guys.
And bye.
Thanks, Charles.